Hey guys, Josh here with a new how-to video, and in this video, I'll be showing you how to frag zoanthids. Now before showing you how to frag zoanthids, it's extremely important that you take every safety precaution seriously, as Palytoxin is no laughing matter. Found in Palythoa, Zoanthids, and some dinoflagellates, Palytoxin is the second most deadly toxin and can cause multiple clinical effects, including burning, tingling sensation, altered or metallic taste, hypertension, flu-like symptoms, respiratory depression, coma, or even death. You should not attempt this unless you're a seasoned hobbyist. With that out of the way, let's see what we need to get started. You'll need a scalpel, coral glue, frag plugs, latex gloves, protective eyewear, 3 clean containers, coral dip, and aquarium water. So now that we have everything ready, let's get fragging. The first step is to get our safety equipment on. Maybe this is a little overkill. Yeah, this will work. We can then add aquarium water to our 3 containers, and if you want, you can number them 1, 2, and 3, as each container is meant for something specific. Container number 1 will be the container to hold our zoanthid frag before we cut it. Container number 2 will be the container that will have the coral dip, where we'll place our coral after it has been fragged. Container number 3 will be the container that will be used for the final rinse, before placing our newly made frags back into our aquarium. Alright, so we have our 3 containers right here. We have our zoanthids, we have our cleansing container, and we have our rinsing container. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add the solution for the coral dip, and that's going to go into container number 2. Now the directions are as follows. You're going to use 4 caps per every gallon. And we just want to pour that in container number 2. Give that a nice stir. Set container 2 and 3 to the side. Today I'll be using the Aqua Vitro scalpel. This one's the 40mm scalpel. And we have our frag plug, which is made by ISTA. And we'll also be using ISTA's instant glue. So very first thing we're going to do is we're going to use our tweezers and we're going to grab our specimen. It's a nice frag of utter chaos. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select where I'm going to make the cut. Now it's not a bad idea to shake the frag inside the water so that the polyps retract, which will make cutting a lot easier. So I think the very first thing I'm going to do is these little guys here on the side. And what I'm going to first do is I'm going to cut the connection or cut the piece right there. And that's where the tissue is connecting to the main frag or to the main colony. So the very first thing is cutting that one piece off. So that part is cut. Then I'm going to try to go underneath these pallies to scrape them off the plug. Now it's better if you put it on an angle and go slow, there's no rush. And just go on the other side just to make sure that we have it. We can use our tweezers to take the freshly cut frag off. See, there's a little bit still attached. go. I'm going to place that frag plug right there. And our tweezers right here. The next step is to grab our ISTA instant glue. We're going to add a small dab of the glue right there. Now you could try using the tweezers, but I find that it's usually sometimes you might have to use your fingers. Now you have to lightly place it, as so. Give it a quick press, not too hard. And that's our first little 3-polyp frag. So at this point, this frag is going to go into our container with the Coral Revive. And that will also allow the glue to cure quicker. Let's try this again. So I'm going to try to remove these 3 polyps. And the very first thing I'm going to do with these 3 polyps is actually going to go under them. And then I'm going to cut between these areas right here, between these 2. We have our polyps right here on the scalpel. And again, we have our ISTA's frag plug. We're going to add a small dab of the glue. This time I'm going to use my fingers. So what we're going to do is first we're going to grab the underside, just like that. Small little dab. And we're going to place this guy in the deepening solution to heal. So I think we'll do one more cutting. And what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to remove these guys right here. Again, there's no rush, but as you can see, I do have a little bit of that slime. That's usually an indication of Palytoxin. We have our gloves on, and I also have my protective eyewear just in case this little guy decides to spit a little on me. almost there. Now we got to separate these two pieces from this piece. So we'll try to do as clean of a cut as possible. And there we go. As you can see, the polyps right there. There's one right there, one on the other side, and another on the other side. So we'll put this main colony to dip. And this time we'll try using Seachem's coral plugs. Again, it's the same thing. Add a small little dab of the glue. There we have it. Put this newly frag in here. And we'll let the glue cure and the fresh cut heal. So the very first two frags that we have of the Utter Chaos, we're going to be transferring now into the rinse container. So let's get this out of the way. It's also extremely important that every time you frag, that you clean your tools. Reverse osmosis is probably going to be your best choice to clean your tools, just to ensure that they remain sharp and also to reduce the risk of oxidation, as you don't want your tools to rust. So we'll move our container number 2 here. And this is container number 3. This is going to be the rinsing station. So we'll get our newly made frags and have them rinse in aquarium water. Now the coral frags themselves should be rinsed inside container number 2 from anywhere from a couple of minutes all the way to 15 minutes as a maximum. The amount of time that I've done it is for approximately 2 minutes. And then from there, we're going to put them in the rinsing container, and inside the rinsing container, they'll be here until we transfer them back into the aquarium. All right, so let's take them to the aquarium. So there you have it, how to frag zoanthids. Remember to follow all safety precautions to avoid injury or even death. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, hit the like button, share it with a friend, don't forget to subscribe, and as always, keep on tanking.